Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today, we're going to talk about a topic that a lot of people ask me about, and that is work-life balance. So if you feel like life is completely out of control and you need just a little bit of help, come back with your pen and your paper and write down a few things that I'm going to discuss with you on today. So welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited that you came back yet again, and I'm going to give you some good tips or tricks or hacks or whatever you want to call them on some things that I've used in my personal life to help out with work-life balance. Number one thing that I can say has really helped me with the work-life balance is having a healthy prayer life. Now, I am a believer, and I believe in prayer and meditation and quiet time and just reflecting so that you can have the best opportunity that you can have in your day to be fulfilled with what it is you're trying to do. And so the number one thing I would say is develop a prayer life. If you don't know how to pray, I can definitely do a video to show you how I pray and just kind of do insight. Just put a comment below or thumbs up on this video and let me know if that's a video that you'd be interested in. But prayer life is so essential. This is where you can cleanse out all of those things that you may be going through, all the things that you are feeling, and that you can just kind of get a sense of how your day is going to start out. So my number one tip is to pray. All right, turn that stuff over, release it. You don't need to keep on carrying that day after day after day. My step number two is for those people who have busy lives. You may be a wife or a husband and have children at home, and then you have a corporate job or an entrepreneur. I have the 1 hour rule. Now, the 1 hour rule is very simple, but it is very effective. So for 1 hour after the time that either my husband or myself arrive home from work or whatever we may have done outside of the kids and the kids seeing us, we give ourselves 1 hour before everybody just starts pouring out into each other. The reason why this is so effective is because when you're coming from your workplace into your home environment, you want to be able to separate the two. Oftentimes people get a lot of frustration from work and they bring it into their home life because they have not separated the two. You driving home from traffic or through traffic from work to home is not enough time to declutter all of that stuff that happened in that day. Because guess what? When you're sitting in traffic, your frustration is still there, all right? So you want to give yourself at least 1 hour before you talk about school, before you talk about anything else. It's okay to walk in and say, how was your day? And you just talk about it, but then give yourself that break in between. So what I used to do is while I was coming in from work and preparing dinner and my children wanted to pour into me and my husband wanted to talk, I said, just give me my hour. Just give me my hour. So cooking was a way for me to separate the two. That's where I found my peace. And I'm telling y'all, I cooked some mean meals when I was in that 1 hour time frame because I was able to focus all of my energy into putting that into my meal, which turned out for the better, good for everybody involved. So that is another thing. Number three, I would say to plan out your day. Now, I know this is a biggie because a lot of people do not like to plan. A lot of people don't even have a personal calendar. A lot of people don't even journal what they want to do. Sometimes we walk around with our calendar in our heads and then we wonder why we're overwhelmed. I'm encouraging you, if you have not done so already, plan out your week. Plan out your day. Plan out 2 hours if you need to get started. But just plan it out and try to follow and stick to your plan. When you do this, then you can eliminate those things that try to vie for your attention, that try to arise and come up in the midst of whatever it is you're doing. And you can say no. because this time is designated for X, Y, and Z. So you want to make sure that you plan out that time effectively. Number 4, you're going to make sure that you also plan in some free time for yourself. Ooh, some free time for yourself. A lot of people don't even want to do that. A lot of people have an issue with spending time for themselves because they feel guilty when they do so. Listen, guys, you have to have time alone so that you can be the best you for everybody that has to experience you. I will say this, and I've said it before, you do not experience yourself. As great as you may think you are, somebody may have a different opinion of who you are when they deal with you. So you want to make sure that you experience some time alone. Plan that in your schedule so that you don't fill up every area of your schedule with junk or work or busyness or other people's issues and other people's problems, and then you find yourself grumpy or angry or bitter. You know the rest. So that is my step number 4. Step number 5, you must take a break from it all. Plan a vacation. Some people, like myself, will say, hey, I've never been on a vacation. That is true for me. But guess what? 2019, I am planning my first official vacation. I am determined that this year I'm going to experience something different than I've experienced before. We work and we work and we work, trying to be productive, trying to establish life, obligated to pay bills, but we never take a time to just separate ourselves from it all. To just see that there is something different, to just have a different experience for that moment so that we can be refreshed and replenished and rejuvenated to continue on. I personally believe that everyone should take at least a small trip or a small break every quarter of the year. There's 4 quarters in a year. That's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now, I'm not saying that you got to fly out of the country every 3 months, but what I am saying is every 3 months, afford yourself the opportunity to take a break. Guess what happens in corporate America? Every 3 months, they go and they look at their budget and they see what happened in those 3 months and where they need to make adjustments for the next 3 months. We can learn something from that. If we take from that and we apply that to our very life, then we should still be able to see what's going on in our life and redo the things that we need to do and then get back on track and be rejuvenated with that. So, with that being said, that is my step number 5. Now, I know you're like, all right, Kimmy, for real, like, how does anybody have any time to do this? You can do a simple schedule, and how I've taught many of my clients to do is to schedule out their week. Start with your week so that you can see what your time killers are. There are things that are going on in your life that are eating up your time. Some of you just don't know how to say no to people. Learn to say no. I can't do it, because let me tell you something. Time is the only thing that you will never get back again. And if you keep on wasting your time, you won't be able to fulfill anything. A lot of us are dreamers and believers and have businesses on the inside of us, but we don't even spend the time that is necessary to invest in what we're trying to do as much as we spend time building someone else's dream in corporate America. So you got to make sure that you take out that time that is necessary and put your focus in the right place. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you that I've done is I had to focus on what it is that I loved. I got tired of being at a place that didn't bring me joy or didn't bring me happiness or confined who I was as a person. Like, there's something about your gifts and talents that you just can't turn off. And when people don't understand who you are, they will try to suppress that thing. Now, I'm not saying just jump out there without a plan and quit everything and walk away and say, hey, here I am, I'm ready to live life. No, you cannot do that. But have an idea of what you want to do and a plan of what you want to do so that you can follow that plan to execute it. I truly believe that if everyone was doing what they love to do, that the world would definitely be in a better place. You wouldn't have time to focus on the things that are negative because you'd be enjoying what you are doing too much to focus on that. So that's another tip and trick. Now, for all you married couples and families out there, here's one for you. Make sure that you plan a date night. Plan a date night. Now, if you're anything like me and my family have always lived away from our extended family, should we say, our sisters, brothers, mother, father, and all that. We've always kind of lived away from everyone. So getting a babysitter has never really been an easy thing. It's not like we could just go down the street or pick up the phone and say, hey, the kids are coming over. So, you know, you have to be strategic to spend time with each other, because if you don't and time gets away from you, it can kill your intimacy. A lot of people in relationships are struggling in this area because they lose themselves. They lose themselves after they have gotten into a place of marriage or raising kids. Kids can be a big responsibility, and there's nothing wrong with them because you love your kids the same. But don't feel guilty if your kids go to a babysitter and you take a weekend to just do you guys. All right, so you got to make sure that you keep that thing flamed up, spicy, juicy. You know, I love everything about a marriage and relationships, especially when you find a person that you love and you can do some fun things with them. So plan date nights. Plan date nights. The next number, I done lost count. The next thing I will tell you guys is this: make sure that you have a stop time for work. Even if you are a salaried employee, I understand that you may be on call, but there is a limit to everything. You got to make sure that even with that, your work respects your boundaries. Set some boundaries in your life. Set some boundaries and say, at this time, I will no longer do any more work. If you need to stretch it out to another day so that your plate is not full for that one day, so be it, if you have the time available. If you don't have the time available, guess what? It's still going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be all right. One way or another, you're going to accomplish your goal, but you got to set boundaries. You just do. So what I've done in my house is that there's a shutdown time for the whole house. I don't care if you're an adult. I don't care if you're a teenager. I don't care if you're a toddler. At a certain time, everybody should be, you know, dewound from whatever has taken place in that day. The children need to be calm by a certain time. The house needs to be quiet by a certain time so that we can all get the best sleep that we can get. So those are just a few of my tips, tricks, and hacks on how to do work-life balance. If you want more videos like this, make sure that you comment. Let me know in the comment section below. Give a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Turn on your post notifications if you haven't done so, and let people know All Things Kimmy is on YouTube, and we got a whole bunch to share. So until next time, you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.